We've got Tams back for this video. She's finally better after like, I think 10 days of being sick. So if you are anything like Tams, you hate paying for subscriptions, whether they're $2, $10,
and not let's say anything more than that.
I don't know what she's talking about. If it's above $0, basically it's a hell no. And Tam's gonna explain to you why she hates subscriptions.
I don't know. I just feel like subscription models are like super sneaky. Like you have them and then you end up paying for them and you just keep paying for them and then you just don't know they're there. And then like a year or two later, you're like, why am I still paying for this? It just doesn't make any sense. So I feel like they're things you think you need in the moment, but then you actually never end up using in the long run. Or if it is something used in the long run, I just feel like it compounds. So why couldn't we just simplify it and just do a once-off lifetime fee? But obviously that's not the money-making way. So we decided to make our own.
So in this video, I just want to go through the apps that we built, the ones that it actually replaced, and was it actually worth the time to do all of this, or was it actually just better just to pay for the subscription? We'll also show you that you don't need to be a developer. I mean, we are in our midlife at the moment.
Midlife crisis.
So I mean, if we can do it, definitely you guys can do it, because we aren't any developers. I mean, we're also quite new to the whole local AI and AI space in general.
Not tech savvy.
The only thing we used to do was use ChatGPT as Google, and we replaced ChatGPT with Google. That's the extent of our AI knowledge. So yeah, we can just show you what we did, and you don't actually need expensive equipment to either do this. So if you stick around, we'll just give you guys an idea of how you guys can do it at the end. But we just want to show you what we built, and because Tam's really excited about them.
Okay, so the very first one that I want to introduce you to is my absolute favorite, and his name is Pup, but a lot of you will actually know it as Whisperflow. So basically Whisperflow is a $12 monthly subscription, and what it does is it's text-to-speech. Basically, instead of typing all those long messages and stuff, you now can just talk directly to the computer and it will type it out for you. And what's really cool about Pup is that it's got a dictionary similar to Whisperflow that can correct any words. Like when I say Nick, it normally spells it N-I-C-K, but in the dictionary I can spell it as N-I-C because that's how we spell Nick. And just like those little nuance things when you say it and how it actually spells it out, you can adjust that in the dictionary, and it gets rid of your ums and your ahs and basically that. So as you can see on our screen, this is Pup. Isn't he just the cutest? So we actually had a lot of fun designing him and making him super cute. So basically, let me just show you now, Pup. Hey Pup, how are you doing? Tell me how your day is. It's nice to meet you. And then that will actually show us loading.
It'll work. Hold on. Oh, boom.
Got it.
Did you guys see that?
So that is something we always end up doing. Actually, you need to put your cursor where you want the text to paste. But what we've installed with Pup, since we always forget to paste our cursor, is to actually insert last transcription. We can also copy the last transcription if we want to paste it somewhere else.
That saved us so many times because we often forget to put our cursor where it needs to be. And so having that function just
allows us to never lose what we were trying to say.
The funny thing is I've been telling Tams about Whisperflow for a really long time. And just because it was $12, Tam says, no, that's the dumbest app she's ever heard of. Why don't you just type or just use dictation on your Mac?
Yeah.
And now that she's got Pup, she's like, it's the best thing ever.
It totally is.
Okay, so Tam's going to show you the next app, which is the one that she really likes because she uses it the most. She used to use something called Travel Spend. And the reason why we used to use that is because we needed to track our expenditure in a whole bunch of different currencies because we'd be traveling to different countries and we just needed one app to, well, the reason why I used that app was to actually consolidate all those currencies into like one expense tracker. And yeah, Tams can show you what we've done with Jelly Bean.
So basically, like Nick said, it's a tracker, but what's really cool is we've learned if you don't track where your money goes, you actually won't know where it is actually going. And that's the most interesting thing is when you start tracking it, you actually see how much goes to junk food, how much goes to your laundry, your living, your expenses.
90% goes to junk food for Tams.
And before, like, you wouldn't actually see it because you're just paying. Where now we actually get to see where our money goes, and I just think that created a lot better money management skills. So welcome to Jelly Bean. I really enjoyed Jelly Bean. I think I enjoyed more just because we made it. So I actually get to see like the fruit of our labor, like the colors, the fonts, the energy that I wanted to feel when doing this. And I hope you guys like it too. So we're logging under the guest accounts. And here's our little jelly beans. It's split into two different things. We've got the personal side and the business side. And I'm going to show you the personal side because that's where I mainly focus on in this app since I track all our daily expenditure. For example, let's say you went shopping and you're in
South
Korea and you bought some food. What food would you have bought in South Korea?
Hot dog.
Hot. So we'd buy some hot chok, and hot chok's about 2,000 won, if I can think at the top of my head. And the Korean won is there. And we can just add that directly to our accounts, and you can see it's listed over here under 2,000 won.
And the really cool thing is that if you set your account to US dollars, it'll take, if you look at the bottom over here, it's won, ZAR, and so it'll take all of these amounts and it'll actually be able to convert it back into the currency that you want to see it at. And that's what we actually needed in this app, and it did it flawlessly.
So that's how we could track our expenses. So let's say, for example, you've got a cell phone plan and you know that's going to be a reoccurring monthly expenditure. So let's say your cell phone plan is 1,000 Rand. Let's say it's in South Africa like us, and it's not under food, it's on fees. And we want it to repeat, and we want it to repeat on the 25th of every single month, for example. And then we can just add it. And now what actually means is on the 25th of every single month, our cell phone bill will then come through. Whoops. So you can see I actually made a mistake and I forgot to even write cell phone bill. So then I can just write it and edit it, cell phone bill. And then I can save the change. And so then you can see here, based off the month, we've spent 1,000 on other, which was USD, which was for the rent. And we've spent $123 on shopping, etc. So it just splits all your different categories, and you can actually just see how much you've spent in a day, for example, and it just keeps going. And you can also do this with income. Let's say you've sold something or you've received income as a gift or stuff like that, then you can just track this on your personal side. So we can see all our entries over here, and if you want to like filter it or categorize it, if you're looking for something specific, you can be like, okay, what's all the expenses I've got for Taiwan, and then we can just separate it into that. Or I could see like, what is it in terms of food? And then I can see all my food expenses
Junk
like
food.
that. So that's just a really cool way just that we track our expenses, and I'll let Nick go through the business side.
Well, the business is pretty much the same as the personal. It just tracks our income and our expenditure for business. The only nuance I would say is that the pending, so let's say if I've got income from a client, let's say $2,000 or let's say Aussie dollars, and let's say I've got a client, his name is called Pip, and he needs to pay us. Over here, I can actually say, is it pending or is it being received? And if it's pending, I just leave it pending, and then I can add it in. And then over here, what's really cool is that it will show us that you've invoiced them, but they haven't paid yet, or the money hasn't landed in your bank account yet. So you need to follow up on this. And yeah, because a lot of the times before we'd actually forget to follow up on these amounts. And yeah, then when we follow up, it'll be a few months later. So this over here just keeps us on track. And once you've received it, you can just click mark as received, and then it basically falls down over here, and you can see that amount we've received it. And then if you have repeat clients over here, like over here, Tams has got that sign over there, which means she's a repeat client of mine. So it'll be tracked there, and then I won't have to retype the client's name every single month. And then over here, you can see all the entries, and you can also actually, if you have anyone that's pending, you can filter for it, and no one's pending at the moment. And then collectively, then we can actually see aggregate of both our personal and our expenses. So you'll see how much is our business in, personal in, how much is the total, personal out, business out, and how much was the total. And then we can see what was the net for the month. And then what Nick and I like to do is actually to see of our net income, what was the percentage that we've actually spent. So we've kind of turned it into a little game, like how low can you go kind of game. So we try always keep it underneath 10%. That's our main goal. But obviously we try fight to do like 5%, 3%. And we either do that by working harder and increasing our income, or we go super frugal and we save more. So that's how we have gamified our expenses. So the last one that we have is called Netflix. And the reason why we called it Netflix was because
we're flexing those net incomes.
So it's basically a net worth tracker like Kubera. Before this app, because Tams doesn't want to pay for subscriptions, we'd have to track every single account that we have manually. We'd still spend like 2 hours a month doing that every single month. Whereas now we can literally at a glance, we could see our net worth any time of the month.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is your dashboard. It shows your net worth, and let's say your goal is $1 million. So based off your net worth, you about 78 or 79% there. That basically takes into account everything that's in your portfolio. Then you can also see your individual categories that where you invested. So you have your crypto portfolio, metals, stocks, bank accounts, and you're also able to add more categories. So let's say if you invested in arts, or you've got real estate, or you've got watches, etc., you can actually add that all over here and can track it. And then this bottom part over here just tells you if you're in a profit or loss. And let's say you've invested $220,000, your portfolio is currently at 788, and then that line over here just represents the amount that you've invested. If that makes sense. So anything below that amount, you're in a loss, and anything above, you're in a profit. And then also shows you your net worth over time over here, which is really cool, because then you can actually see, hopefully you can see the graph keep going up and not down. If I quickly run through the individual accounts, if you have cold and hot wallets, if you know what that is, then you're able to split them up. So you got your cold wallets in a category and your hot wallets in a category, and you can also color code them. And then that's also just your net worth of crypto over time.
What's also nice is within your cold wallets and your hot wallets, you would have had different assets. Like here you've got BTC in this one and BTC in this one. But what you can see is it also just gives you a combination of what's across in all your wallets. So you can actually see how much assets you have across your multiple wallets in one, so that you don't have to think like, oh no, how much Bitcoin do I have in total? You can just see it collectively.
If you want to see how you do it, so let's say if we want to add a holding, let's say we want to add Ethereum, and let's say we've got 100 Ethereum, and we add that in. You can see over there that actually just updated live, and then that's how much now you've got in your portfolio. So you actually just need to put in the amount of crypto or stocks you have, and then it will automatically track what the current live price is. Same with metals. If you have any gold or silver or anything, and then your bank accounts, the only thing with the bank accounts, we don't want to link it to our bank accounts. So this is the only part that's manual every month, which is quite quick for us. It probably takes us 5 minutes, and you just have to punch in what's in your bank account for that month. But I'm pretty sure we can link it if we want to, but yeah, we prefer to just keep it like this for now. And then for stocks, it's the same thing with stocks. So let's say if you are invested, let's say if you invested in Tesla, okay, and let's say you've got 100,000 Tesla stocks. Okay, then you can also say over here, I paid, let's say, $100,000, and you add that in, and then there it is over there. Wow, that's worth $33 million. That's amazing. Okay, for liabilities, you can go through that, Tams.
Liabilities, basically if you're still trying to pay off your house or your car, or if you loan some money from someone, then you can just track it in here so that you can actually know how much you're worth, because your net worth is your assets minus your liabilities. So if you don't know what your liabilities are, that's a bit of a problem.
And if you want, you can add a liability, like for instance, I owe my mom, let's say I owe my mom $100,000.
Wow.
And she is family, and then the due date is no due date. So you add in 100,000, and then let's say you owe your mom $100,000, and basically it just sits over here, and that's just, I guess that's a cool reminder just to let you know that you need to pay your mom. Like, yeah. And then this history tab just gives you the history of all your accounts and stuff.
And then you can see your liabilities and everything all together, and what is your total profit or loss.
Yeah. And so yeah, this saves us some time. It's also really fun. I think it's just fun just to check your net worth and track it. I was thinking a really cool feature to add would be maybe to add like net worth in your age category.
Yeah.
And then you can like switch between different countries, so you can actually see where you are
globally
or locally between your country and then your age category and stuff. So I think that will be a cool feature to add. Maybe we'll add that when we have time. But yeah, so that's just the basics of that app.
That's basically just to say, like, if you just invest a little bit of time, you can definitely build it. Like Nick said, we've never built any apps before. We had no idea what we wanted to do. We went through like many iterations of it, and even like the coloring, the design, the logo, the animation when starting up. Those are all little things that we built to make it feel like a full built app. But obviously you don't have to go that far if it's just for personal usage. So you can go as far or as short, I don't know if I can say, as you like.
So those are the 3 apps that we've currently built, and I feel like that's actually helped us a lot. We might build a few more apps in the future if we have time. Currently we don't really have much time because we're still traveling quite a bit. And
if we haven't said, we're currently in Taiwan.
Yeah. Just want to give you guys a note that not every app works out the way you think it's going to work out. So we have like 2 or 3 apps that just didn't work out. We wanted to build an app that could help us with audiobooks that Tams was helping a client with. And instead of her manually doing the noise floor and getting all the levels to where it needs to be to pass the Amazon ACX requirements, we wanted to build an app that once you put it in, it'll just pop out the audio and then it's basically everything's done. But that didn't really work out really well. It was quite a few things. If you're trying to combine the Final Cut editing plus the ACX requirements plus Descript and everything put into one, it was a bit of a mess. I feel like we could have got it to the end, but just the juice was just not worth the squeeze for that one. And then the other one that we developed was an HTML email designer, which I do a lot of designs for clients. And the reason why I want to do that was just, I actually don't know. Now that I'm looking back, I don't even know why I attempted that, but there's just too many variables in play when it came to that. So that app went down the drain.
So point being is, not everything you build will become a success, but you have to try and you'll learn along the way.
Yeah, and those 2 apps I feel took like 2 weeks, like a week each, and it didn't work. And then these 3 apps took a day each. So rather build the easy apps, the ones that will actually make a difference in your life.
A simple way that you can follow what we did is, one, you can either ask whatever AI platform you use, be Gemini, ChatGPT, Grok. You can just basically ask them, based off what you know about me, what app do you think that I should build that would benefit me in ABC?
Yeah, and you can just reverse engineer everything. It's actually really easy to build these apps. You don't have to be a prompt engineer. Yes, you might get the app done quicker if you're really good at prompting, but honestly, you can reverse engineer it. You can ask the AI. You can tell the AI, hey, this is what I'm thinking of building. This is how we actually build Pip. We want to build something like Whisperflow. Can you tell me what I need, or is it possible to build it? And it'll give you a whole list of things of how you can build it on your system and what your system requirements are. And a lot of the times, you just need a dusty old MacBook or a dusty old laptop at the back that just needs to host it. So for instance, like I told you, my brother hosts the Netflix app on his really old computer and it works.
Yeah.
And so that's all you really need. In terms of cost, I would say you can just do it on the $20 plan if you don't have local AI agents. And then once it's done, you don't actually need to pay ongoing anymore. You just need it to build your app in the beginning. Some of the features that we've got on our apps, we didn't even think about.
Yeah.
We just told it, oh, this is kind of what we want, because we kind of knew what we wanted. And then we just said, okay, based off all the best apps out there that are similar to ours, what are the features that you think we need? And then it'll give you a list of features that it feels like you need. You go through those features and you're like, no, I don't want that. That's too complicated. And then you just basically build it like that. You don't have to have
it and customize it to you.
Yeah. And so if you're thinking about is building the app worth it, I would say yes, 100% worth it. The great thing about these apps or building the apps yourself is that you have total control of every single feature you want to add or you don't want. And so a lot of the subscriptions so a lot of the subscriptions have a lot of features that you're paying for that you actually don't need. And then also some subscriptions have features that you want, but it takes so long for them to add it, and sometimes they don't even add it. And it's way cheaper. I mean, everything just runs on our server at home, so the only thing we pay for is electricity. So I would highly recommend try out the apps, have some fun, because that's what's really cool about AI. It's just the fun part. And if there's any questions you have, or you're not sure, just leave it in the comments. And
if you would like us to actually
reverse
prompt,
because we've got these apps already built, we could probably ask our agents to reverse prompt the prompts that you would need to ask Claude or ChatGPT to build your one. If you like what we've built, we're not going to gatekeep this or sell it or anything. We just think, sharing
is caring. So if you do want us to do that for you, just let us know in the comments below and we can see what we can work out for you guys. Otherwise, we'll see you guys in the next video.